Good morning. It is the weekend. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. It's a little, the clouds are clearing up. It's going to get a little bit sunny, which I always like. And fall home improvement checklist. I know it's not fall yet, but we're close, really close. So what are we doing, my friends? Well, we're going to talk landscaping for the fall, home improvement, your fall checklist, some waterproofing, and we got the best projects to do in the fall. So that's how we're going to roll today. And of course, in studio with me right now is Greg Rapsidis from a company called The Landscaper. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Adam.
So, Greg, as we start this new hour, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and let everyone know what you do?
My name is Greg Rapsidis. Work for a company called The Landscaper. We do landscaping and basement waterproofing, and we're located in Roseville, Michigan. We service the Tri-County area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have a big year this year?
Great year. We're doing record numbers. People are spending money like crazy. Home improvement. Everybody's, improving, not moving, as they say.
Yeah. That used to be one of my mottos. Don't move, improve.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that funny? Which is always a good thing.
Well, the interest rates going up, how price of housing, skyrocketing.
Materials, everything, inflation. Yeah,
everything.
The whole world. It's a big pain in the focus. So today's Shout Out Saturday, don't forget, 248-539-9797. You have a question for Greg and I, landscaping, even waterproofing. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a regular home improvement question, text us, 248-539-9797. And don't forget, it's Shout Out Saturday. Big Joe from Menards is listening. Good morning. And so we want to answer any of your questions if you have them. We've got Greg Rapsidis from The Landscaper in studio. So, Greg, you still got time. We talked about it earlier in the season to get a couple small projects done.
Some smaller projects, yeah.
Give me an example just so a homeowner knows.
Just something in your backyard. Maybe you want a row of arborvitaes. Maybe you want to, you've got a problem area with some drainage in the backyard, front yard. Yeah,
so until he's had these big rains and all of a sudden it's just completely pooled up everywhere.
Everything. So we've had record rain. Well, I'm not going to say record, but we got a lot of rain this year. I think we're in the top 5 rainfalls for summer. Gutters improperly installed. We do underground gutters. We'll take your gutters out away from the house, get that water moving, 15, 20 feet.
What do you take, like a black pipe?
No, we don't use the black pipe. We use a thin wall.
Okay.
Rubber coated inside. Pipe
lasts a while.
Lasts forever.
So that's because I always give advice: is get the gutters, the water away from the foundation.
You want to get it away from the foundation.
Especially
in the coming up in the fall into the winter, we get those rains, and then the water goes down next to your house. Then we get a freeze. And believe it or not, that's what cracks your basement walls.
Yeah, the pressure from that, for sure. You do waterproofing as well, don't you?
We do.
How is that business? Because it's a really tough business.
It's a tough business. The work is really dirty. It's really labor intense.
But since you're always in the mud anyway.
We're in the mud, and you know what? It's
not a big deal.
So I used to do it. I did it for 10 years, and then we do landscaping, right? So what are we doing? We're digging up on the side of your house where there's landscaping. We're pulling out the landscaping. We've got to dig it up from the outside, if we do it from the outside, to repair your leak. Mm-hmm. And then 99% of the companies out there do waterproofing do not put your shrubs or landscaping back. So now you've got to call another company. Well, guess what?
That's a great idea.
We do both of them.
That's pretty smart. Okay, 248-539-9797. Text us if you have a question for Greg. So, Greg, landscaping, then waterproofing. I want to focus on waterproofing for a minute because it's a big topic right now. The inside system, outside system. You've seen them both.
Yes.
If you had the preference, which one would you do?
So it's all depending on the home, the home and accessibility and your budget. Okay,
let's just say you can get access all 4 sides of the house.
So if you access all 4 sides of the house, the best way to do it, if it's my house, you're digging it from the outside.
Outside.
Because you are stopping the water. Outside is waterproofing. Inside is water management.
Interesting you say that, and I'm glad you did because my preference is an outside system. However, there's that house with the driveway up the right side touching the house.
Correct.
You got a front porch going across the whole front of the house. You got a deck on the back, and then you only have the left side accessible. Thus, the reason why you go inside the house and you break up the floor and do an inside system. Is that why?
So yes, that's exactly why. We're installing the outside of your house. When they built your house, they dug a big hole, they poured your footings, they put the walls up, your basement walls up, they poured the floor, and then they filled it they put tile around the house and they filled it back in, and that tile runs to the city sewer. And it's supposed to get that water away from your house. Well, over the years, these older houses, the tiles back up, they collapse. They're not meant to last forever. And what happens? The hydrostatic pressure builds. There's water around your house in that big bowl, and your basement starts to leak. It's in Michigan. It's not a question of whether your basement's going to leak. It's when your basement's going to leak.
There you go.
And
yeah,
and that inside system is just replacing the outside tiles. It's taking all your water and we're diverting it into your sump pump, and then we're discharging it so the water doesn't end up on your floor, on your walls, on your valuables down in the basement.
Okay. Is it expensive, basement waterproofing? Do you charge by the job or by the foot? Like, is there a process?
So it is. It depends on the job. Again, we try not to charge per foot, square footage kind of stuff.
You come out and look at it. You go out.
Oh, we definitely come out. We evaluate everything. We'll talk you through the whole project. We'll explain to you what we're doing, why we're doing it.
Okay.
We'll explain to you. We're a little different than some of the other companies.
We're going to talk about that difference. That's for sure. We're going to take a quick break. We've got Greg Rapsidis from The Landscaper talking waterproofing. He also does that, which makes sense because landscaping. 248-539-9797. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Shout out to Jag Lighting, one of the best outdoor lighting companies around. Jerry Goldberg, he's a rock star. Does great work. I know him because he did work at my house, and he's fantastic. In studio, Greg Grapsidis from The Landscaper, he does landscaping work, and it makes sense. He says, you know what, Adam, we're digging landscaping away from your house on the foundation. Why not do foundation repair? Ding, 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 as Moose would say.
It works. It works.
And so you're doing really well in the waterproofing space.
Waterproofing's really busy. We've had record rainfall, and everybody's basement leaks.
Will you come out to a house for free and check out someone?
Yes, we will. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Basements and crawl space encapsulation, also crawl spaces. People don't talk a lot about crawl spaces, but you want to talk about schmut and gook and whatever your phrase. I'll tell you what, crawl spaces are a terrible breeding environment for all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it pays the health of your family is important. And if you're breathing all that air.
Yes, right.
Yeah. So crawl space encapsulation, basement water, basement's leaking, it's moldy, it's musty. It's a bad environment down there too. And your stuff's going to get damaged in your basement. So
well, that's the thing. So let's give some advice right now. If somebody, after these rains, go downstairs and they see water seeping in from anywhere, will you come out and take a look at it for free?
We'll definitely take a look at it, yes.
What do you look for when you're in a basement?
Signs of water, signs of leakage, signs of mold, signs that there's an issue, and we can typically tell, especially if it's been doing it for a while, because once somebody sees one drop of water on their basement, they don't call for a while, and then that evidence starts to build, and you can kind of see what's going on in there.
Well, that's what I figured. So here's one of the quandaries about basement waterproofing over the years where I've talked about it and flip back and forth. Let's just use a typical square basement.
Okay.
There's 4 corners.
Mm-hmm.
Water's leaking in one. Okay. It's signs of moisture in another, but the other 2 are bone dry. Do you waterproof the whole basement, or do you just do the areas that are wet?
So, depending on the situation, depending on the budget, we'd like to. So, if one area of your basement's leaking, and we fix that area, the water finds a path of least resistance. So if it leaks on one wall and we fix that wall, especially if we do it from the outside, there's still water down there, so the water needs somewhere to go. And it's going to find the next path of least resistance. And if that's a crack on another wall, that's where it's going to come out of. So when we're down there, when we're in there, when we're doing stuff, we'd like to do as much as possible because, again, it's not if your basement's going to leak, it's when your basement's going to leak.
Well, that's the if, not when. Yeah. So here's the thing. But let's say you take the corner and you get the water to not go in the basement, you fix it.
Yeah.
Doesn't the water that's in that area go into a new drain system or a new drain tile so that it relieves that pressure?
If we're doing it from the inside, yes. If we're installing an inside drain tile system, yes, it does.
So from the outside, you dig down to the top of the footing, right?
We dig down to past the footing, dig down to the drain tiles. We make sure your drain tiles are working properly.
You put a new drain tile in if necessary?
If we need to, yes, we do. Even if they're clogged, we try to snake out as much of your drain as we can, the drain tile on the outside. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we're down there. We've dug a hole 8 feet deep. You've never seen that drain tile the whole time you've been in the house.
Right.
So why not?
And it's old.
Why not try to clean it out as much as we can to allow as much water to flow as possible.
Okay, so that helps. So if a homeowner says to you, listen, I want to do it right, and the 2 corners are dry, would you still go all the way around the outside of the house?
No, not around the outside, no.
Okay, but inside, yes.
Yes.
What about a house with no sump pump? No sump crack or anything? Will you put one in if you think it needs it?
Definitely will, yes.
Now, you keep your finger on the pulse of the competition?
Yes, definitely.
You heard about triple sump and the battery backup and the
triple sump and all the different. We have a patented system. We have this. We have that.
By the way, there are some of them that I'm like, you know what? It's kind of cool. Like for me, a backup sump pump with a battery.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
However, 3 sump pumps?
Unless you're living in a 10,000 square foot house, I don't think, and your basement's 10,000 square feet.
Right.
I don't think you need 3 sump pumps.
So, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, But there are some techniques that I've seen, like EverDry, who I know is a good company, by the way, and they're one of the oldest around. They have a sump crock that they have the holes in it.
Yep.
So when the water pressure, hydrostatic pressure from the underneath the floor, it relieves it by going into the crock, which I think was genius. I don't know if that's patented and all, but do you guys use something similar?
We definitely.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure, but I thought
so. There's different crocks. There's different sump pumps. We sell 3 different packages depending on your budget.
Sure.
And we'll give you a recommendation of what we think you should use, and then depending on your budget and your situation, you have to make the choice.
Since you do basement waterproofing, so what if the homeowner has like an egress window? Will you cut in a window for someone, or is it?
Yes, we do egress windows.
Oh, you do?
Yes, we do.
Are they expensive?
So an egress window will typically run you about $4,000 to $7,000, depending on the situation, depending on the window you pick, the well you pick. There's different
one that'll allow me to climb out without getting stuck.
Exactly. Some of them have built-in stairs built into the shell. It's real easy.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure.
And there's different grades of windows.
Yeah,
So,
I want one that's gonna last.
Yeah.
Obviously. Meanwhile, you cutting a hole in your foundation wall. The key here is the installation. If it's not sealed properly, then you got a problem.
Installation. It's all about the company you choose. There's a lot of great waterproofing companies out there, but there's a lot of bad guys out there.
That's I'm on the board of the directors of the Better Business Bureau, and used cars. The complaints lead the way are used cars and contractors.
Yep.
And under the contractor category, basement waterproofing
Really.
is up there in the top. So my point is I think it's because of a combination of things. It's a messy job. It's where people can't even visually see what's there. They don't know what they're getting, and they're basing it on the trust of what's happening. A good salesperson or a good communicator will tell the homeowner and make it look like it's going to be no problem. And then you get these animals coming into your house, breaking up concrete and schlepping 5-gallon buckets of Home Depot stuff and with concrete in it, and it's a mess, but they're cleaning up, and it's hard labor. Homeowner eyes pop out of their head. They're like, "Oh no, what am I doing? Is the house going to collapse? They're breaking up everything."
It's a very, very, very messy process. It is a very labor-intensive process. We are going into your basement. We are breaking out your basement floor. We are digging next to your footing. We are taking out concrete. We are taking out dirt, sand, mud. A lot of homeowners will say, "Well, the guy that came before you said it's not going to be that messy. It shouldn't be anything at all. Just a little bit of dust here and there. Your house is going to shake. There's going to be dust." Now, some contractors, the better contractors,
prepare for it.
We prepare for it. We consider ourselves one of the better contractors. We try to mitigate all that kind of stuff. We run air scrubbers in your basement.
Sure.
We're cleaning up everything. We're putting plastic on it. We're tarping everything. We've got runners everywhere. We're closing off the access because we're coming up the stairs with 5-gallon buckets of all the stuff that's coming out of your basement. Then we have to bring all the materials back inside. They all come in 5-gallon buckets. All the stone, all the concrete that goes back in comes in 5-gallon buckets. So the guys are up and down your stairs. We're going to protect your stairs to the best of our ability. We're going to protect your walls.
Dust and water always win. But if you're cognizant and you're a responsible contractor, you're going to clean it up. We're going to take a quick break. 248-539-9797. Text us if you have a question. It's Shout Out Saturday as well. We've got Greg Grapsidis from The Landscaper in studio. We're taking a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Greg Gropsitas from the Landscaper in studio. If someone's looking for a landscape project next spring, they should start planning now.
Definitely start planning now. Give us a call. Let's get something down on paper. Get some ideas flowing. Tell us what you want. We'll create something for you. And it's a pretty long process, depending on the size of your job. If it's a bigger job, it takes a little bit of time to plan it. Get all the right permitting, zoning, all that kind of stuff. So, and picking out materials, ordering materials. Materials are getting back to normal now. We're during our COVID era, let's call it. Materials were really hard to come by.
It's starting to distribution, production.
Everything's starting to get back to normal. Everything's starting to get back. The pricing isn't normal, but pricing has gone up 200-300% on a lot of things. But availability is getting back to normal.
Makes sense. Well, that's good. So you're busy. If someone calls you now, they can start the design process.
We can start the design process. We can go through, start picking selections, get you ready to go.
I really like the fact that you do I get a lot of calls and you do them all. I have drainage problems. The water puddles in the backyard every time I'm in, and I see that in a lot of homes like Royal Oak, and you can come out and solve all that.
We can definitely come up with a solution. It's all about diverting the water somewhere. And, back in some of those homes, they were built, eons ago, and the neighbor came in and built higher. The next neighbor filled in the backyard with topsoil, and then you're stuck in the middle, and all the water's coming into your yard, into your basement. And we got a solution for that.
How long have you been doing this?
About 35 years.
It's interesting.
I went to college for about 6 months, and then that was it. Yeah.
You know what's funny? College was great back in the day. Today, I'm not against college.
No, I tell my kid.
I would send my kid not to college.
No,
I'd make him a contractor.
Make him an electrician. Make him a plumber.
Right.
Make him a concrete guy.
Right.
And the thing is, we can't. If you call, that's our biggest complaint. Number one complaint.
Labor.
I can't get a contractor out to look at my job.
Well, they'll answer the phone and then they say, I'm on my way, and they never show.
Yeah. Or they'll be an hour late for your appointment.
There was a contractor, we used to call him Moose.
Oh God, I've heard about that guy.
This is some
He's
Moose.
terrible.
He thought he was good at marketing.
Yeah. He thought he was good at everything, if I recall correctly.
I was dealing with Sarge and Pete. You were around.
Mm-hmm.
And this Moose put together a marketing kit for a business that he was trying to start. And he graduated from Adrian College, I think it was.
Yeah.
Albion College.
Yep.
And he put together this binder for marketing, and I saved one.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all working. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We got through this, and besides the fact that we were laughing so hard and dying because it was so funny, Sarge said, and I'll never forget, he goes, you know what? We need to write a letter to the dean of Albion College. And I go, what are we going to say? He goes, we're going to send this to him and ask him to revoke the guy's diploma. Say, this is it. We're rescinding it. He's making your college look bad. I can't forget it.
And God bless him. God bless him.
This is some Moose. Mm-hmm. I love it with the fade.
You got to love him.
Yeah. Anyways, so you do basement waterproofing, which is always a good thing. We all like that. How long does a basement waterproofing job take? Is it, demo one day, is it a week? Is it 3 days?
So it's, your typical job's going to last 2 to 4 days.
Okay.
By the time start to finish.
So you can get in and out.
Yeah, for typically, we have a 3 to 6 man crew depending on the job. There shouldn't be a hold up on material. The only thing that would hold us up maybe is some inspections from the city. Make sure to always pull your permits. We tell everybody, make sure, the contractor you hire, not to steal any of your thunder at them, but licensed, insured.
No, listen, it's basics.
All that kind of stuff.
We try to make sure everyone understands the basics, but then there's the next level of that. Like you've said, you write a detailed estimate.
Very detailed.
I always tell homeowners, look, if you write down to the homeowner exactly what you're getting. And I tell contractors, look, or homeowners, ask the contractor to write the scope of work like a story, a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I agree with you 100%.
Because if you just start writing what's included, sometimes it looks like it's Chinese. How about saying, Mrs. Jones, here's how the job's going to go. We're going to first start with plans. We're then going to go to the city and get blueprints or get permits. After we get permits, we're going to deliver material to the site. We're then going to prep the site for construction. And then we're going to do demolition. And so all of this is like in a story form. And homeowners are reading this like, oh, I get it. I got it now.
It's funny you say that because we have a little magazine that we hand out to the homeowner that explains in detail the process from start to finish. Our salesman, Adam, he is phenomenal. He will sit down with you. There won't be one thing that will come up that you wouldn't have known about.
Really?
Everything will be detailed. You'll be informed because at the end of the day, we don't want you to say, wow, you didn't tell me that. We want you to say, you know what? It was a lot better experience than I thought it was going to be.
Right. So. And that's important. And so then the other piece of advice we give to homeowners, and I know you do this, is I tell homeowners to ask the contractor to put everything in writing, please. Please write this scope like a story, good, beginning, middle, end. And then once they give it to you, I tell the homeowner to review it, but then give it back to the contractor and ask the contractor for this. And the contractor and the homeowner are like, well, what's this? And I just say to the homeowner, tell the contractor, this is great, but I need you to write down everything not included now. In homeowners are like, why would I want to do that? Or the contractor's like, why is he asking that? Here's why. And I think you do this. I tell homeowners to tell the contractor to put everything not included in writing because what it does, and maybe you can comment on this. In my experience, asking the contractor to put what's not included in writing forces the contractor to think about the project and makes him concentrate on, okay, what else is there not included here? Oh, I'm not going to paint. Painting's not included. Things like that. Because homeowners make assumptions, or the contractor they got a bid from that wasn't doing the job, but you may have promised them paint. Correct. And you didn't. They remembered what you said.
Correct.
That's a problem.
So it's a bigger problem in let's say the basement waterproofing side of it, because you're going in and you're making kind of a mess in the customer's home. At the end of the day, a lot of these contractors, they come in, wham, bam, we got your basement waterproofing done, but now we left you a mess. Our thing is we come in, a lot of guys, you're in your basement. You've got a laundry sink there. You've got a washer. You've got a dryer. They're against the wall. Those things have to be pulled out.
Who does that? Do the contractors make the homeowner do that?
A lot of the contractors don't do it. We have a crew. We have a licensed plumber that comes in,
unhook and hook it all up,
takes all that out. And then what we do is we're a little different because we run air scrubbers during the process. Once we leave,
cuts down on the dust.
Cuts down on the dust a lot. What it is, a big filter, and it sucks the air in.
The insurance repair guys, the water guys do it.
Yes. And then what we do is after we're done with the job, there's still dust in the air. We leave that air scrubber in your home for 2 days because the concrete's got to dry, and then our guy will come back. He'll reinstall your washer, your dryer, your laundry tub, and he'll take our air scrubber with us and make sure that you're happy and everything is good. We'll go through. We're not going to deep clean your house, but we're going to clean up all the majority of the dust we made. We're going to take down the plastic we put up. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. And a lot of contractors will just say, well, we're going to waterproof this. I've had customers say, well, he said he was going to do this. Well, he made us take out the washer and dryer. My husband's 78 years old. I've got a bad back. We can't do it. We had to hire a different company now to come in and move our washer, our dryer, our laundry tub, hook it back up, clean up.
Yeah. There you go. That's a problem. And that's what makes you different. And so homeowners don't know this. They need to know this because the contractors are going to not say that. They're just going to think, it's going to be perfect. Don't you worry.
Yeah, the sun is shining and everything is great.
Hunky-dory. Kumbaya. Okay, so we're all on the same page. We get it.
That's what separates a good guy from a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, there's still a lot of good guys out there.
There's a lot of great guys out there. There's a lot of great waterproofing companies, a lot of great land. There's a lot of great contractors in general.
One always spoils it for everyone.
There's exactly that one rotten apple that makes the rest of us look bad.
Got any hobbies?
Boating.
That's right. You have a house you have a boat on St. Clair?
Yeah, boat on Lake St. Clair. Yeah, we spend a lot of time at the marina. It's coming to an end.
I know.
So
what are you going to do this winter?
Back in work mode. We're busy.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
What about football?
Football. The Lions are going to the Super Bowl. Come on now. Who's not talking about it?
Do you follow anyone on Twitter with the picks?
Yeah, a couple of them, yeah.
Sharps on Twitter is what I follow. We'll talk about that.
I love the headline. I woke up in the morning and, after staying up late, and woke up in the morning, said the Lions put the NFL on notice. I mean,
Oh, boy, did they ever.
We're going to the Super Bowl. Come on.
248-539-9797. This is Hire It Done, the sport of home improvement. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name is Adam Helfman. Great Saturday morning. Greg Rapsidis from The Landscaper. We were talking about the Lions a little bit. Just
They're going to the Super Bowl, Adam. I mean, come on. I'm buying tickets today. What's wrong with you?
That's funny. You know what?
I mean, are you
Every year we say the same thing. Oh my God, this is the year, this year. But is it different this year? I think it is.
I think it is. So serious question.
Yeah.
If the Lions go to the Super Bowl, are we going?
Oh, dude.
I mean, we have to, right?
Where's the Super Bowl? Is it in Phoenix this year? Where is it?
I don't know
Atlanta?
where it's at. I don't know. Wherever it is, we have to
Florida?
go. I mean, this is our only, in our whole lifetime, this might be the only chance we have.
Hold on, I'll ask my producer because he knows everything. Paul, where's the Super Bowl? Vegas?
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's $100,000 trip for sure.
Oh, God.
Get Sergeant
We have
Pete
to
on
go.
the line.
Oh,
We're going.
Sarge is ready. We talked about it yesterday.
Fuel the jet. We're
talked,
doing it.
We talked about it yesterday. We're going.
I bet you we could jump on one of my friend's jets.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many people we know going if they go to the Super Bowl. We can hop a ride anywhere.
And by the way, the Hutchinsons.
Yeah.
The whole family I'm in love with.
Yeah.
I just want to be part of that.
They look like a great family.
The best.
Yeah.
You know, remember the restaurant Pepino's?
Yeah, I think so.
That's their family.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love that place. Yeah. The trout. Anyways, I digress. Have you ever done any pizza ovens? Like outdoor? Have you done any outdoor kitchens?
We've installed a couple pizza ovens. I love pizza. Pizza's my favorite food. You know,
really?
If it's my last
have
meal.
Have you not been to my house yet?
It's pizza. Yeah, I've been to your house.
No, for pizza.
No, not for pizza. No, I never get an invite.
Dude, that's it. Next week.
Okay.
Get the boys. It's not just you and I.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, the boys love pizza too, so you know how it is.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. 248-539-9797. We have Greg Grapsidis in studio. It's the sport of home improvement. And Bet with the Sharps on Twitter is who I follow when it's gambling and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to be a degenerate. You know that, right?
Weren't we all?
I think we were.
Yeah.
Could be.
That's why we migrate to each other.
Well, you know, it's funny. Here's how the connection is. Basement waterproofing is connected to sports, and here's how. You want to put a big screen TV in a couch in the basement. You want to have a nice, man cave.
Man cave. You want to have your buddies come over and watch sports.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to have my kid playing video games downstairs. I don't want him going out crazy with his friends.
You gotta have a clean, dry environment.
So you can't spend the money finishing a basement without waterproofing it.
No, you have to waterproof. And if you're thinking about finishing a basement and you have an older house, it might be a good idea to spend the money up front and waterproof the basement before you have a problem. Because again, it's not if it's going to leak, it's when it's going to leak.
You know, I've had people do that with roofing. And they're like, you know what? I don't need a new roof, but I want to. Now that you can get a roof so cheap with us, the
Roof Resource, right?
Yeah, you've heard of them, right?
I'm a good friend of mine is one of franchise owners.
Oh, you are? Okay. Small world.
Yeah. So,
interesting.
Says it's a great product. Great idea.
I'm excited.
Saving all kinds of money.
Yeah. Well, the results. You actually did some landscaping for one of the customers, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
We go out and we take care of.
But I'm just saying that's where people are now saying, you know, my roof's not leaking. Because I used to say to one, if your roof's not leaking, don't replace it. But now you have the ability to say, you know what? For the price that you can get me a new roof, I could change the color. Boom.
Not only change the color, but I mean, if anybody's been paying attention to the world, everything is going up exponentially every year. So, I don't care if it's roofs or apples. Price of everything goes up. So if you've got the money now and anything is getting old, your roof's getting old, your landscape's getting old, now might be the time to replace it.
Do you know Fez?
Yeah, I've heard of Fez.
Grandpa Fez.
Grandpa Fuzzy.
Shout out to Fez.
Grandpa Fuzzy.
That's the best.
Yeah. So going back to the basement, if you're going to finish your basement, if your basement is finished and your basement is leaking, we have to come in and put a system. We have to take your finished basement apart.
Do you cut up 2 feet up, 3 feet, or do you take the whole wall out?
We try to, it depends on the situation again. If you're doing the inside method, if you've got a lot of leakage on the walls, we like to put up we like to encapsulate even your basement, not even your crawl space. We'll encapsulate your basement walls.
You will?
Yes.
Do you use, what kind of material do you use for encapsulation?
It's a 9 mil.
Okay, so
antimicrobial, radon resistant. Yeah, it's.
I have a crawl space I need encapsulated, and it's a conditioned crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
I have a furnace in it, and it's just a dirt floor, but it's smooth and clean. But I love that white all the way up.
Oh, the white, it looks like a spaceship.
Right?
Yeah, it
super
looks like
clean.
Yeah, if you're ever having a bad day and you think you want to get messed up, go down your crawl space.
Right.
And
then air quality is a big thing too.
Real big thing. And we offer units to move your air from makeup air to just filters. to get that air moving in the basement, because the air that's in your basement is coming up into your home, and that's the air you're breathing. So if you walk in the basement, it smells musty, moldy, stagnant. That air is what you're breathing. It's coming upstairs. It's just, so you want to make sure that air is good quality air.
Well, that's the key. And then, according to the air quality experts, the air inside your house is 5 to 10 times dirtier than the outside air. Dust, water, it just gets everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's a home improvement is a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
So what's your outlet? What's your professional economic outlook for the fall and next year business for landscaping and waterproofing?
Things are looking good. So far, so good. Who knows, in this crazy world, things can change tomorrow, but as of right now, everything's looking good. We offer financing on bigger projects. A lot of people are saving up. Hey, I've been saving up this whole time. I want to get it done now because the prices are going every year up. So
I got you.
Now's the time to do it.
You've been to my house.
Yep.
By the way, the project you did with the extension of the pavers, anyone out there who has any paver issues, Greg is the master. He's like a sensei. Okay. He literally made my backyard look like rock star.
Great crew. Great paver.
The best guys. You saw the rocks around my pond?
Yeah.
They're caving in a little. What I need them to do is take the rocks off and then push them down.
Reset them. Yep.
Is there guys? You got guys who can do that?
Yeah, we got guys.
That's a pain in the butt.
But again, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have you do it. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll put that in for next spring. Okay. I can't afford it right now. Well, dude, I mean, I'm so happy to see that you're doing well. How long have we known each other now?
20, 25 years.
Easily, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Remember the one contractor, the homeowner with the brick pavers 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Me, you, Sarge.
Yeah.
Thank God that got handled right. Yeah. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have gotten done.
No.
You stepped up and saved the day.
So there's a lot of sticky situations out there, and it's just all about how you handle them. And you got to treat the customer with the same respect that you want to be treated with.
Of course.
And you got to provide them a quality job.
Do what you say what you do, right?
Under
promise,
the devil's
over
in the details.
You've done good with that. One of the policies at Hired Done is after you get a handful of clients, we call them and just say, "Hey, how did it go? Can we ask a few questions?" Homeowner's like, "Yeah, no problem." So we always ask, was he thorough? Did he respond timely? If there was an issue, did he solve it? And then the last question we always ask, would you use him again? And every time, and again, we try at Hired Done to get better. And by the way, mistakes happen. We look for contractors that are solution-minded.
Exactly. We set realistic expectations. And when you set a realistic expectation, even if the project is going to take a little longer, if it's a little more difficult, and the customer understands that, hey, we may run into a few issues, but we're going to resolve them for you. We're not going to leave you and say, well, it's not our problem. We did our little part, and just because this got a little messed up, call the next guy. No, we handle it for you. Like I said, we want to build a relationship with you.
Right.
We don't want a one-time customer. We want a customer for life.
Communication, solution-mindedness. Those are the two things that really are paramount in a project. How about one last thing as we wrap this up? Homeowners sometimes watch YouTube and they think they're an expert. How do you deal with that?
We educate them. We explain the do's and don'ts. Educate them. At the end of the day, they have to make a decision. And if they make the right decision, they're gonna have an expert do it. They're gonna have somebody that's experienced that does this every single day, in and out. Now, if you're changing your washer and your faucet, YouTube it, sure. But something that's easy. If you're an able-bodied individual, sure, tackle something. But when it comes to something that needs permits pulled, that you need the professionals to come in and do it every day.
Leave it to them.
Hire a professional.
Spend the time finding the guy that knows what he's doing instead of arguing with him.
Exactly.
Funny you talked about YouTube. I YouTubed how to connect my garage door opener to my new car.
YouTube is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
my number one YouTube video is?
What's that?
How to fire a contractor.
Really?
That's the one that's got over hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
People from all over the country send me. I don't even.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Greg Grapsidis from the Landscaper and Waterproofing. Thanks, man. I appreciate you coming in, man. Always. Shout out to the boys.
Yep.
My name's Adam Helfman. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, I'll be here. I'm always here. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and see you next week.